Good evening and welcome. You're watching Trending Tonight with me, Sanket Upadhyay. Well, two stories that we are tracking as always, that we do right here on this show. Story number one, Jitin Prasad, a leader of the Congress party, a two-time minister in the UPA regime, has now quit the party. He has joined the Bharatiya Janata Party. But what is the reason behind his exit from the Congress and his joining in the BJP? Now, exit we all know, he has specified this. But what purpose will he serve in his new party, in his new assignment? What will he do? Well, he's a Brahmin. He started a Brahmin Chetana Manch also. Could not achieve much within the Congress party. The BJP is battling an anti-Brahmin perception. They say that this has everything to do with politics and not reality. But can Mr. Jitin Prasad fix this Brahmin equation in UP for the Bharatiya Janata Party? Or this is a bit too much of an expectation from him, and the real objective of the BJP having him on board is to just show the top leadership, or the Gandhis particularly, in poor light. That a man who was so close to the Gandhis is now with the Bharatiya Janata Party. We'll put that to a debate in just a short moment. Also on the show, first, there were people from the TMC who moved to the BJP. And now, increasingly, you hear more and more people striking a discordant note with the BJP. And in some cases, it is now being believed that they may jump back to the TMC, a sort of a ghar wapsi. So there is naturally a huddle in the Bharatiya Janata Party, both in Kolkata as well as in New Delhi, where the party leader of opposition of the BJP is meeting with the top leaders right here. More and more MPs are meeting top leaders in Delhi. They again, this is a favorite word that everybody uses whenever they have to explain a crisis-like situation. They call these meetings for feedback and review. So there was feedback and review in the BJP in UP, feedback and review of the Congress party in Punjab, and now feedback and review of the Bharatiya Janata Party in the state of West Bengal. Will the BJP disintegrate in West Bengal? Will the TMC plan to do something like this? We'll put that too for a debate. Also, will Mr. Mukul Roy, who was first to jump ship, go back? There is a lot of speculation on that front as well. Let's quickly come back to the debate on Uttar Pradesh, on the fortunes of Mr. Jitin Prasad. But see, there is a larger point beyond Jitin Prasad also of what exactly is happening in the Congress, where the young Turks or the generation next seems to be unhappy. You name it and there will be some of the other trouble. We have Rita Bahuguna Joshi. She's a Lok Sabha MP, senior leader of the Bharatiya Janata Party, was for a very long time associated with the Congress party, was a very senior leader from Uttar Pradesh. Khushbu Sundar is also a leader from the BJP, again very, very closely affiliated with the Congress party, moved or felt the need to move. Rashid Kidwai, senior journalist who has documented this movement of Congress leaders and knows the party inside out. And we have Supriya Shrinate, national spokesperson of the Congress party, who Supriya is also from Uttar Pradesh and faces the very difficult task of defending her party. Supriya, good luck. Well, let me begin with you, Rita Bahuguna Joshi. You see, young Turks in the Congress party, whether it is Mr. Jitin Prasad, whether it is Sachin Pilot, or others also, including Khushbu Sundar, and you yourself, let's count you also as young Turks. All of you felt the need to move out of the Congress party. I want to ask you why.
See, first of all, I'd like to welcome Jitin Prasad into the Bharatiya Janata Party. And as he already has spoken for himself, he has come here only for ideological reasons. He's come for nation building. He's come to the Bharatiya Janata Party because he sees that Congress has lost its relevance in terms of focuses, in terms of goals, and in terms of positive politics. And he wants to come and serve the people through the BJP, especially under the leadership of Narendra Modi ji. I was listening to your commentary, but I would like to bust this theory of caste politics that you were trying to enunciate. Because you see the elections, Lok Sabha elections of 2014, 2019, and the Vidhan Sabha of 2017 in UP and the country have clearly busted this theory. It really negates the theory of caste polarization, because across all castes, Mr. Modi and the BJP were winning hands down, at least in my state. So as far as Jitin's arrival is concerned, and as far as disgruntlement in the Congress party is concerned, you see, just look at it. Not only leaders have left, but within the party itself, 23 leaders who have a track record of 20, 30 years of service. People like me who were there for more than 20 years. People like Jitin, or people like Scindia ji, or people like others. Why were they asking for some introspection? They were asking for change. Now that this G23 is saying election karao, why don't you go in for organization elections? 2 years now from 2019 to 2021, a party which calls itself a national party has not been able to decide who will be the president of the party. Can you imagine this situation of this pandemic? How the country is suffering? We should stand together, and there is totally negative politics on part of the Congress.
No,
Every
Rita ji,
morning
see,
you have a tweet
these are
against the
two
Prime
different
Minister.
two different equations right here. One is the brand of politics of the Congress party, and secondly the desire of leaders to leave the Congress party for whatever reason. Now, I want to know from you, if it is not, you know, trying to fulfill some caste equation, what really is Mr. Jitin Prasad going to do? Because, you know, one common criticism is that all those people who have jumped ship, what are they doing in their new party? What crucial assignment have they got in their new party?
Well,
what have they achieved in their new party?
No, why should, why should you always look for crucial appointments? Anybody who comes here, one, he gets an opportunity to work at the grassroots. He gets an opportunity to take these schemes of the government to the people.
But you couldn't have done that?
It gives them an opportunity
within
to
the
fulfill
Congress?
you could not, because the party is in no mood to mend itself. The party is in no mood of honoring, respecting its leadership. 23 people are sitting on the fence. Look what happened to Sachin. Look what happened to Sachin. Look what's happening to Amrinder Singh now in Punjab. I'm not going into the internal politics. All I can say is there was lack of respect, there was lack of coordination within the party, no specific direction for the party, no definite goals. So I feel, as a politician of over 40 years now, unless and until you have positivity and you have some positive action, some definite goal to which you want to achieve,
Rita ji, you know, then on this front, even the BJP will be found wanting on a number of occasions. Khushbu Sundar, you know, BJP is talking about right now, the government is talking about positivity, that one must stay positive. Of course, all of us must always stay positive. But does positive mean that the mistakes or the problems or criticism of the government must not be done? Well, then the BJP also criticizes the Congress.
No, but
will that qualify as positivity or negativity?
No, I think you
I have one big question with you. Should they have questioned? Should they have done?
Jitin ji on our side.
Ms. Joshi, I'll come back to you. Yeah.
It's wonderful to have Jitin Prasad ji on our side, because I think it was long impending. We were looking forward to it, and here he is with us. See, when it comes to criticism, everybody is open to criticism. We talk about democracy and everybody has it. But of late, it has become very, very fashionable. You know, and it's you know, you talk against the government, you speak anything against the government, and you think that that's fashionable. That should not be the fashion. That should not be the trend. You have all the rights to question the government, and here the government is ready with the answers. For every accusation, for every allegation, we have an answer. But you don't make it from the opposition side, saying that you don't give a solution, but you just keep accusing, you just keep doing allegations. Let me remind you, Sanket ji, I was part of Congress for 6 years in the opposition, and we were taught nothing. Every morning we would sit and say, okay, what has to be trending and what is that we have to find fault. You sit around with a microscope, you sit around with a magnifying glass, and even if there are no mistakes in what the government is bringing in, you still have to find faults with it and oppose it for the sake of opposing it because you're in opposition. I think that is the wrong trend. That is not a good trend. That is not good for the country. Because
no, but
we have
again, you know, I ask you, you know, this oversimplification of equations. what else does an opposition do in a democracy? Did the BJP not do the same when it was in the opposition? Is the BJP not doing the same in West Bengal? Is the BJP not doing the same in Punjab or Rajasthan or Chhattisgarh?
The same country has seen the opposition of Congress and BJP right during the times of Mr. Rajiv Gandhi and even during the times of Atal Bihari Vajpayee ji. Why is the opposition making it so ugly? Why you don't have to make it ugly is what I'm saying. You see the Congress today, everybody is quitting the party. You are opposing, everybody realizes you're opposing just for the heck of it.
Sure.
You're not opposing because there's absolutely no sense in you opposing to what the government is bringing in for the country.
Okay.
You sit in the opposition and you do what? Just oppose. Don't do it. You look into it. You understand what the government is trying to do. You give solutions to it. You give solution. You just don't oppose for the sake of opposing. That is the problem. What is happening with Congress? Why do you think I left Congress? Why do you think Mr. Jyotiraditya Scindia left Congress? Why do you think today Jiten Prasad has left Congress? Why do you think everybody else, whether it is Assam, whether it is West Bengal, everybody else, people are quitting Congress and coming to BJP? Why is that happening? Because people understand that this is one party which is definitely working for the better of the country. It is slogging. Yes, we are in trying times. Yes, we are going through a lot of trouble times these days because of the pandemic.
I think important points have been raised by Ms. Joshi as well as Khushbu Sundar. And before I come to you, Mr. Kidwai, Supriya, you know, you've heard from the two ladies who are with the Congress and now they're pointing out the reasons and circumstances because of which they have had to leave and why people are jumping ship. Because there is no vision and you're opposing just for the sake of it. There is no positivity, there is no purpose behind your opposition. I think this is what I've been able to gather.
I will answer both of them and I will put across some points. There is something called a war of principles and a war of the idea of what we stand for. You don't do a 360-degree somersault and go join forces with people who you have continuously opposed because of the idea that they represent. And I'm sorry to say both the ladies have done exactly that and Jitin has done that today. With all due respect, you know, these are choices that one makes. I have no issues with that. With all due respect, what do you expect the Indian opposition to do when our economy shrinks by almost 24.5%? What do you expect the Indian opposition to do when in UP, a girl who was raped, the entire system and the entire government gets into the mode of trying to prove there is no rape in Hathras? What do you do when crores and crores of Indians lose their job and joblessness is at the highest level of 11.5%? It even reached a 45-year high. What do you do when in the corona crisis, people are dying not just because of the pandemic, but they're actually dying because the government looked the other way and did not prepare enough oxygen. They did not plan for vaccination. What do you do when the country is not priority and exporting vaccines was? Do you expect as opposition to keep mum and keep spreading this charade of positivity? No. As opposition, as a country, as a court, you get up and you ask tough questions of the government. Now, if that is a problem, so be it. But this is a question we are not asking. This is a question the people in the country are asking. And I'm sorry to say there is something called political opportunism here. And all of this smacks of political opportunism.
Okay, one more quick right to reply.
All right, there was nothing. No, 1 second. Let me just finish.
Sure.
When everything was steady and all of these are beneficiaries of the Congress being in power. Whether it is Jitin, he remained a minister for 10 years in different departments of the government of India. Ms. Joshi herself, with all due respect to her, for several years, she was the UPCC president. She was the president of Mahila Congress. She's been a beneficiary of the Congress being in power. You don't desert a ship and then go badmouth them. I'm sorry to say that. And with all due respect to the ladies and to the gentlemen in question here.
Okay. Very quickly, right to reply, Ms. Joshi, Khushbu Sundar, and then last word to Mr. Kidwai.
No, we appreciate criticism if it's healthy. I would only want you to appreciate the government when there is a surgical strike. Appreciate the soldiers who went through it, not criticize them. We would like you to appreciate the bravery of our warriors, of our soldiers in Ladakh. I would like you to appreciate the work done by our scientists in inventing the first vaccine in the world. And there also you criticize, you put people under cloud, you suspect the government, you say it's not a good vaccine, it should not be taken. See, these kinds of things are negative. So, ma'am, I respect you for your defense of your party, but please let me remind you, a party which does not respect its soldiers, a party which does not have the capacity or leader to take along everybody with them.
Okay.
See, a party is not
Okay, Khushbu Sundar, you're right to reply.
One person. It is a teamwork. So there was no teamwork over there.
What we are saying is, if there's an opposition, you're here to work for the country. So work for the country. Do not try to find faults with the government who is trying to work for the country. You don't sit in the opposition and keep finding faults with a magnifying glass.
No, but then who's working for the country?
Who's working for the country? I would like to understand that.
Well, how do you define working for the country?
What is working for the country? What sort of an illogical
Well,
argument is that?
yeah.
People in this
Let's
country
hear
have died
from
for paucity of oxygen. People in this country have died due to lack of vaccination.
No,
What
you
is
say
working
you
for
work
the country?
You're chosen by the people of this country. So you serve the country. You work for the people of this country who
You
have
make
chosen
an
you for
argument that
power.
stands its ground. You're making an illogical argument, ma'am. I'm sorry to say that.
No, I'm
If
sorry,
the Prime
Shreya,
Minister turns around and says,
your
"Koi
argument
Sai
is
nahi tha,"
illogical.
should we keep quiet? I would like to ask. When the Prime Minister says on the borders, "Koi ghusa hi nahi tha," should we keep quiet? When he exports our vaccines to foreign countries, prioritizing foreign countries,
okay.
You're absolutely wrong. The vaccines were sent when the way was not there, not now. When the way was not there.
Okay, one moment.
As an opposition, are you okay with it?
I'll have to come in here. Mr.
About?
Kidwai hasn't spoken.
Different parts of the
Please,
country.
truce.
Completely
Truce.
baseless argument.
One
Doesn't
moment,
stand
truce.
ground.
Mr. Rashid Kidwai.
Absolutely waste of argument when you argue with the Congress.
Okay.
Baseless argue.
Okay, ladies, calm down, please.
There's something called
Rashid
political opportunism.
Kidwai.
You know that better than anybody else.
Rashid Kidwai, I want to come to you now. You know, you've seen the peaks of this party. There was this criticism that the number of times the Congress party has seen a vertical split is no joke. No other party has seen. I want, viewers to know your opinion. How do you look at this churn?
See, first of all, Sanket, I think in the Indian context, every politician has a right to, learn and live, and that is why they defect. The concept of political defection is quite alien to the Westminster model of parliamentary democracy. It's unheard of, unthinkable in Britain and most Western, democracies. Even in Pakistan and Bangladesh, this kind of defection is quite unheard of. The amount of defections that take place in India. That's a kind of theoretical place. Ideally, actually, the Congress there would have been a vertical split in 2014 when Congress suffered its, worst ever debacle that it had happened in 1977 when 2/3 of, the Congress had left Indira Gandhi. It didn't happen. That was something abnormal. Now it's happening piecemeal. The BJP has infiltrated Congress party badly, vertically, deeply. And whenever it suits, there is a crisis going on in Uttar Pradesh and entire optics of COVID, crisis, etc. So this has been, and this play has been enacted. There will be more of it. You will see it happening in Jharkhand. You will see it in October, far more closer to UP, Punjab, Uttarakhand election.
So you say that this is unnatural.
It is absolutely unnatural. And this is something that, because the BJP has limited stock of ministerial berths, Rajya Sabha, etc. This is the kind of, carrot they are doing, and there are enough congressmen, going for it. So there is no ideology. People can go and say it is, naked opportunism. Some people have availed it and benefited of it. Others are in the queue.
Okay, interesting observation. I've run out of time, Supriya. We'll debate this the next time there is someone who jumps ship. In the meanwhile, there is another state where there is a absolutely opposite problem. There is a problem of Ghar Wapsi for the Bharatiya Janata Party, where a lot of people could now come back to the TMC. I would like to welcome Mr. Shogato Roy, Lok Sabha MP of the Trinamool Congress, as well as Pritam Datta, Secretary of the Bharatiya Janata Yuva Morcha in West Bengal. Shogato Roy, is Mukul Roy coming back to the Trinamool Congress or not? Lots of speculation. The Trinamool Congress also says that there are as many as 35 MLAs of the BJP who are waiting to jump ship. Shogato Roy, can you hear me?
Airbag, eh?
Okay, I'm going to come back to Mr. Roy in just a short moment. Pritam Datta, how about you?
Yes.
Can you answer this question? Are people from your party going to go back to the TMC where they came from? And that's the reason why this huddle is taking place. And what about the future of Mr. Mukul Roy?
No, I cannot commenting anything which is speculation, right? There is speculation that Mr. Saugata Roida and Mr. Abhishek Banerjee and Mamata Banerjee can join BJP also. So I cannot comment on any
No, where is this speculation? I have not heard of this.
I am hearing.
Mamata Banerjee is joining BJP.
Yes, it can happen in politics. Though don't ask any question in speculation, boss. I cannot comment on anything in speculation. Where
Sure, okay.
Party
Here are the specifics. What was the reason for Shubhendu Adhikari to come to Delhi, rush to Delhi? What was the reason for Mr. Mukul Roy to not attend the Chintan Baithak? What is the reason why two MPs of the BJP are rushing to Delhi to meet the party president?
Just give me time. You asked me 3 questions and let me give you the answer. The answer is that first, why Shubhendu came to Delhi. He is the leader of opposition. He can come to Delhi and meet our senior party leaders and our Prime Minister and Home Minister about the violence happening in West Bengal after 2nd May, after post-poll violence.
And is that
which is happening every day. Every day it's happening. You also know today there are shootout is happening in Kolkata itself. So there are many things is happening in Kolkata. That's why Shubhendu can go. And Mukulda's wife is very much critical. She is hospitalized. So for that reason only, Mukulda cannot come, and he is also not well.
Sure.
I personally went to his home to meet him 15 days back.
I can accept that explanation. I can accept that explanation that, there is a crisis, but the manner in which these meetings are taking place, Saugata Roy, can you hear me? Saugata, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, hi.
I can hear you now.
Yeah, so my question to you is, we've heard many leaders of the TMC saying that there are a lot of people who jumped ship to the BJP. They are all willing to come back. In fact, one claim is that 35 MLAs of the BJP want to come back. The bigger question is, will you accept them? Because you call them dirt which has gone away.
They are indeed dirt. And the party has not taken a decision on readmitting people who had left our party, putting us in a difficult position. Now, since we came out trumps in the assembly election and BJP had to bite the dust, many of these opportunists, they want to come back. They are contacting many of us.
Can you name them?
Including some have sent feelers to Abhishek Banerjee. They have not reached Mamata Banerjee yet, but they are trying to. BJP has no future. So these people feel that they must, by hook or crook, at any cost come back. But our party has not taken a decision. There is a lot of resistance within the party that these traitors who left the party at a critical time, they should not be admitted. That is feeling among the grassroots.
What do you feel?
Call will be
Should these people be
Banerjee.
brought back?
I personally feel that I personally feel there should not be any discussion on this issue for 6 months. And I have said so publicly. But as I said, that Mamata Banerjee will take a call. There are 2 types of people who went from TMC to BJP. We can call some of them soft liners. Those who went to BJP but didn't use strong language against Mamata Banerjee or the party. And there are hardliners who betrayed us and used harsh language against the party.
Okay, Mukul Roy is a soft liner or a hard liner?
Hardliners are out in any case. Mukul Roy has played a big role in getting people from TMC to the BJP. He acted as BJP's Trojan horse in the party. But the difference between him and Shubhendu Adhikari is Mukul never used harsh language against Mamata Banerjee. Whereas Shubhendu Adhikari used the harshest language against Mamata Banerjee. So there is a difference between the two. But in action, Mukul may have done more harm to our party because Shubhendu was not able to take so many people. But Mukul was able to take some people with him.
But
Now,
Shogoto Roy,
before,
for you to
the
have
election,
categorized him as a
when the-
soft
but
liner
please,
and
just
not
one
as a
sec.
hard liner is kind of giving me a hint of where you're going, which means that he can be accepted.
No, I am not giving you a hint. I am giving you an objective view of the situation.
Sure.
That these BJP wallahs are in a quandary. BJP has no future in West Bengal now or for next 5 years.
Okay.
So even those who are in the BJP, what is their worth? But I remember that when before the election, when media people asked me, they used to say that how long will your party stay? All of your party people are going to BJP. I used to tell them that, see, some people have gone, it doesn't mean that our party is finished. But the BJP through the media ran a campaign. The TMC is finished, finito. We shall take all the TMC into BJP. You see what happened.
Whether
big weeks of BJP,
whether
the
this
Hanumans
conversation
of BJP all.
Whether this conversation will end for 6 months and there will be no movement, or there is actually going to be movement on the ground of a ghar wapsi, massive ghar wapsi or not, we will know in a few days from now or whenever Mamata Banerjee decides, though this classification of soft liners and hard liners is a very, very interesting development. Good night and goodbye.